Hi, welcome my beautiful princesses. Today I want to talk about the self-care routines, the well-being and just like a mental health support for yourself. Please stay with me and let's begin. When we think about our self-care routine and our well-being and our mental health, there is a lot to say about women that give, and don't get enough from it. We give to our bosses, we give to our families, we give to our husbands, we give to our, our people, communities, people that needs us, and that doesn't leave enough time in a day for our self-care and our mental health. And I see a lot of people and a lot of women who talk about having your nails done, having your hair done, like looking good. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more than that. Your beauty is something that you will probably never lose unless something happened, unless you're gonna let go. So when you put towards you, when you put something for yourself, when you have time to do it all, you shine, you feel better, you glow, and your self-confidence is just better because of how you look and also how people perceive you. When you look nice, people are gonna treat you different. When you talk polite, when you know how to talk to people, they're gonna treat you just a slightly better way. And that's just how it is. But there's so much more to it when we talk about our well-being. And the first thing I want to say is you need to know how to say no. Knowing how and when to say no is probably one of the most important skills that you can have as a woman. I used to be a people pleaser. I used to always say yes to everything. I didn't want to miss any opportunity. I didn't want to miss any party. I didn't want to miss any project opportunity, okay, you name it. When I realized I don't have enough time to do it all, and I actually don't want to, like sometimes I didn't want to participate in the project because there was somebody else who was doing it, or there was a person that I didn't really, enjoy being around, yet I would still say yes because I didn't want to be perceived as a bad person. So know how to say no, and you don't have to be rude. You can just say, I'm so sorry, I just can't make it. I wish I would be part of it. It's just not my thing. You can say however you want it, but please stay polite because, sometimes being not polite is just not probably what you're supposed to be doing. Or sometimes when you really feel like it, just be sassy and say no. Without explanation, without saying sorry, just like no. You have right to say no when you wanted to, okay? Maybe you prefer to stay in bed, maybe you prefer to read your book, just say no and be done with it. Look after your feelings. And this is a huge one. Especially in my family, I see that we want to put a mask on and we want to pretend that everything is fine 100% and all the time. And in reality, it's not. Sometimes you have a reason to be not happy. Sometimes you feel like the world is just being against you, yet you want to always stay positive and you always want to make sure that other people are healthy and happy. Just say how you feel. And sometimes you can get like a stranger person that you just need to vent to, okay? Maybe it's a taxi driver, maybe it's a bus driver, maybe it's like somebody very random that you would probably never speak to again, but you just in the moment, and they will be willing to listen to you, and maybe sometimes they can give you a better advice than people around you. So be open and be honest, and sometimes when people ask you how you feeling, you don't always have to say, I'm so well, thank you. Sometimes you can be, you know what, I had a crap day and I'm not feeling good today. I'm not feeling myself. I feel like shit. Like, say it however you want it, but sometimes you just need to be honest. And I know because I used to be the one who always said I'm really good and I'm really happy and whatnot, but reality was different. And I think when people see that you always put a mask on, like, just masks, they will not want to communicate. They will not want to understand because, oh, she's always happy, she's always fine, she's always this and this. What's the point of even asking anymore? So be honest, like if you feel this is not your day, you feel overwhelmed sometimes, name your emotions. And another thing to it is we haven't learned, specifically men, but I'm just talking about women right now, okay? This is all about women today. We haven't always learned how to communicate our emotions, and actually we don't even know how we feel sometimes. Sometimes you're just angry and you feel that's how you feel, and you feel ashamed of that. Because we don't want to feel angry, we don't want to feel upset, we don't like those emotions. that's why we getting frustrated, and we don't even want to admit that this is something that we did, that this is something that we feel. We're just going to vent on other people. I'm not saying we're going to vent to people, we're going to vent on others. It's going to be like, it's going to be building, and then we're going to explode. Unfortunately, we usually explode on the wrong people. So you can probably imagine that you wouldn't do it to your boss, you wouldn't do it to like a in-laws, you wouldn't do it to further family members, but your loved ones are usually the ones who are gonna get on the other side of the stick. Maybe it's not even their fault, but it feels like it is, because when everything's built up in you and you're just not feeling great, and then maybe your husband's gonna do one slightly bad thing, and it's just gonna annoy you so much that there's gonna be a lot of drama about that one thing that could be communicated many months prior, or could be just communicated to the right person. But it all starts from knowing how we're feeling and why we're feeling this way sometimes. It can be something that has nothing to do with other people. It can be just the way that you feel. I don't know, you just came to a new city, you don't feel good about it, or you just there is a bad weather outside and you don't have enough sun throughout the day, and you just didn't have that 5 minutes for yourself for a few months, and that's stressing you out. And people can feel it, and people can sense and smell your energy throughout the distance. So please make sure that whatever you're feeling, you're gonna communicate that and name your feelings. It can be sadness, it can be frustration, it can be disappointment, it can be just a bad mood in general. You name your emotions, and that's gonna definitely help you. I will try to create a small notebook. Maybe you can download it from this video, in the description below, that will describe so many different emotions that we can feel and have, yet we don't really know the feelings, okay? We don't really understand, maybe this is that, or maybe it's this. So when you can read through the list and see, oh, maybe I'm not actually angry, maybe it's a frustration, maybe I'm not actually this, it's gonna be something else. And most of the times all you need is just to take 5 minutes, sit with yourself, and when you don't say something important that you're supposed to say, it's always in your chest. You just feel like something sits on your chest. When you feel like you have too many things, you feel like somebody would put a lot of weight here. Or when we talk about the stress, sometimes it's also in your gut, so your stomach will feel tight, and you're just gonna feel like maybe you wanna go toilet or something for the 5th time in a day. Your emotions are usually placed somewhere within your body. When you think too much, we can have a lot of headaches. It's usually this part, I would say. When you feel like, sometimes you can feel pain back there. This can be because of your period, or you didn't have enough sleep, you didn't have enough water, you didn't have enough light, or you might need some air. Okay, it's so simple. Life is very simple when you really think about it. All we need is few basic things that makes us happy and healthy, and all we need is just to tap into it, rather than go through life and just hustle and do the next project, do the next thing, and clean the apartment. All you need sometimes is just fresh air. This is how simple that is. Practicing gratitude is also another big thing that we don't do it enough. I think when you spare just literally 3 to 5 minutes throughout the day being grateful for what you have, you're gonna notice how much you have. And I look at my grandma, who by all means is the most amazing and lovable person on this world, and it's not just us, the family, but other people can feel it too. She never had enemies. She's always greeted by strangers. Everybody who met her even once in her life, when they communicate with the family, when they got in touch, they always say, oh, just say hi to your grandma. Oh yes, just greet your grandma from me. Even though they met her for 5 minutes, they want to send her love. All it is really that you can sense the energy around her. She doesn't wish anybody bad. She doesn't want to be involved in bad things, and she will usually stay out of the problems, because she believes life is so simple, and she lives by those rules. Well, actually, I'm in Poland right now. It's a rented apartment behind me, and my grandma is just next door. Okay, so I rent this place specifically so I can be close to her. This is how amazing she is. Okay, you probably want to be that person too, but you need to start somewhere, and all you can do is to be grateful for what you have. they've been through war. My grandma been through a war. She lost her parents. Her life was not easy. She lost her husband when he was 45, and until that day she is never remarried, and she always said that the husband was the best thing that ever happened to her. And that just shows that she's been living pretty much alone. She was looking after us, after my mom and everything and everyone, for so many years, and she never said one bad word about her life. She never said she's bored. She never complained she doesn't have enough. She never said that she doesn't have enough money. Like, it's been just so fantastic to look at somebody who just doesn't complain and get on with her life and smile and live every single minute. It's amazing, it's just so amazing. We can learn a lot from all the people, and the gratitude is one of the biggest things. A lot of people talk about the gratitude journal. You can write few things in the morning or in the evening that you're just grateful for. And sometimes what we do with my husband, we pray. And the way I like to pray is I like to say thank you for what I have. I like to say thank you out there. I like to say thank you to God, thank you to the world for all the amazing things that I have. And sometimes you might not even feel the gratitude, okay? It's not like you're just being fake, but you need to remind yourself that you have so many things, you have so much, but you just don't appreciate it. And you feel like if you would live elsewhere, if you would have that much money, or if you would have that job, you would be finally happy. And happiness starts here. Happiness starts within us, not outside us. And look for this, please. Sometimes I feel that if we would all do the job that we love, and we would be in the places that we always wanted to be, we will find another thing to moan about, because this is, again, it's not about what's happening outside, it's all about what's happening here and now. So be grateful. Number 2, the physical health and energy. It's something that I mentioned before. It's so basic that it's absolutely amazing, okay? So just drink some water. Start from water. I know everybody talks about it. I wouldn't say drink too much. Just drink enough so you don't feel dehydrated, okay? Your water can be eaten. Oh, there is a really good book that your cells are made with water, but it's not the water that we feel. Sometimes I see people drinking even 4 or 5 liters a day. I mean, if that's what's helping you, that's fine, but you don't have to drink so much. Sometimes you can eat fruit. Sometimes you can just eat something that has a lot of water, like a cucumber, watermelon. It all comes with water, but it has all the nutrients and vitamins and enzymes that helps our body to digest it. Move your body, eat nourishing foods, of course, stay hydrated and get enough sleep. Sometimes go outside. That's all what it is. Rather than looking at your phone, watching another Netflix movie, you just go out, have a nice walk, and stay with yourself for 10 minutes without anybody else. Number 3 is self-worth and confidence. And again, that comes to, of course, how you look, but also how you talk and how you stay in bad situation. Even though you can be very mad on someone, you can be angry, you can be in pain, how you're gonna react to this, it's all what's gonna matter. So I will give you the example. One of my friends has been cheated on badly, and it's been going on for many months, or maybe even many years. In my opinion, they've been living in a lie, because if a guy is staying with you, yet he has another woman in place, a woman that knew about the other woman, so that's just even worse. And then you found out that the person that you want to get married to, that they weren't married, by the way, but she had the big dreams. And when she found out, she could probably make the biggest drama in her life. She could have threatened him. She could have handled it so different than what I saw, because it unfortunately happens when I was there. I saw so much humbleness and so much control. I've spoken to her later on, and I asked her if they spoken again, and she said no. So what happened was, she found out pretty much by accident from a different friend that knew about that. And rather than shouting, fretting, and doing all of this, she just stayed quiet for about 10 minutes. She went to the loo. She stayed there by herself, and she walked out. she spoken to him in a very calm manner. He said that that was true. And all she said was, thank you so much for all the years that we had together. I feel we are not good for each other. I wish you all the best, yet I hope that you're gonna realize what you've done. She packed in front of my eyes. She asked me to give her a hand, which I did. I went to pick up my car to help her out with more stuff as well. He was all over the place. He was threatening her. He was crying. He was saying that he's gonna ruin her, and I just couldn't believe the situation. Like, oh my god, he's threatening her, yet she is so calm. And they haven't talked since then. I asked her, how did you handle that? I would be probably the craziest person that you can imagine in that situation. I would be shouting, fuming, I would be crying, like whatever, I don't think I can control myself. Yet she said, all I'm gonna remember from that moment is how I acted. And that was a big one. How you act in the moment is all that you're gonna remember. If you do something that's gonna make the situation worse, that you're gonna get out of control, you will remember this for the rest of your life. You will never forget it. Yet when you handle the situation the way that you feel it's who you are, then that will lead you for the rest of your life. And that will teach you to always stay calm no matter what the situation is. Which is what leads me to another point, is surround yourself with positive people. If you feel that the person who is next to you is not truly right. And funny enough, we spoken, I talked to my friend about the whole situation, and she said, you know what? It's very hard to explain, because I've been feeling happy for so many years when I was with him, yet there was something that was telling me that he's not right for me. Yet I stayed. I didn't feel my gut, like my gut messages. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to face the life. And that's why it happens. Maybe, I'm just saying, maybe that helped her in the situation when she had that moment when she thought, okay, he's not for me, for whatever reason that can be. She couldn't explain why. I don't think she can explain even to herself. Yet, where is that gut feeling that's guiding us? That, the gut feeling that tries to help us. I believe those messages, you're connected to God. We are all connected to something great and bigger. When we don't listen to that feelings, that strong messages, especially as a woman, we're not doing us justice. We're not doing the right thing. Because sometimes you can't explain why things are like the way they are. But you just know that he's not right for you. You just know that that person next to you, there is something wrong with her, yet you still getting in touch, you're still trying to beg him or her to, just to please you. You're trying to be a people pleaser. And what you should do, you're supposed to just listen to your messages, your gut feelings. What are they trying to tell you? Where do they try to lead you? And very often you need to go through all the hardships and all the bad moments to understand that it's time to start listening, to understand that life is something greater than what other people want to make out of it. And life is definitely more important than just staying in the wrong situation to please everyone. Because in order to please everyone, you're losing yourself. And that's the worst thing that we can do. And sometimes you can't be just scared. Maybe another person that you are with, they don't agree for you to do something that you really need for yourself. Yet you need to find a way. You need to find a way to please yourself. And of course, I'm not saying to harm other people. It's not like, oh, you want to cheat on him, so you do that because that's important for you. I'm talking about things that really pleases you and things that help you to stay the way you want to be, and things that just makes you so happy and like it makes you glowy. And maybe it's a small thing that somebody is not agreeing to. You need to remember it's your life. It's not his life. It's not anyone else's life. You need to be happy. Remember, you're valuable, you're loved, and you are worthy. Never forget that. The more you do for yourself, the more you're gonna shine. And that's what I wish you, all of you, to shine like stars. Have a nice one. Bye bye.